Claude Opus 4.8 versus Fabel 5, a structured comparison of two frontier AI models, their design philosophy, capabilities, and ideal use cases. What they are: Opus 4.8 was released on May 28, 2026. Anthropic's flagship Opus series model focused on coding, reasoning, and agent workflows. Built for deep analysis, extended thinking, and safety-first AI alignment. And on the other hand, Fabel 5 was released on June 9th, 2026. It's a Mythos class model with additional safety guardrails. Anthropic describes it as its most capable publicly available model, focused on creative synthesis, multimodal storytelling, and narrative intelligence. Fabel 5 launched 12 days after 4.8, same generation but different intent. Core architecture: Claude Opus 4.8 was built on constitutional AI alignment, extended thinking chains, multi-turn memory coherence, instruction following precision. And on the other hand, Fabel 5 built on narrative graph architecture, creative token orchestration, multimodal fusion engine, emotional coherence modeling. Capability comparison: Claude Opus 4.8 versus Fabel 5. Which one is better? At first glance, you might think Fable 5 is simply newer and therefore better. But this comparison shows something more interesting. These models are optimized for different goals. Reasoning depth: Claude Opus 4.8 scores exceptional for reasoning depth, while Fable 5 is rated strong. What does that mean in practical? If you are solving complex coding problems, debugging large systems, performing research, or working through multi-step logic, Opus 4.8 is likely the stronger choice. Creative writing: Fable 5 takes the load in creative writing. This suggests it's better at storytelling, character development, world building, and generating engaging code. Writers, content creators, and game developers and designers may prefer Fable 5 for these tasks. Code generation: This is one of the biggest gaps in the chart. Opus 4.8 is rated exceptional for code generation, while Fable 5 is only moderate. For software engineers, this alone could make Opus 4.8 the obvious choice. Multimodal output: Fable 5 shines when working across different media types. It's rated exceptional in multimodal output, meaning it may be better at combining text, images, visual understanding, and richer context generation. Safety alignment: According to this chart, Opus 4.8 offers industry-leading safety alignment. This matters for enterprise deployments where reliability, compliance, and predictable behavior are critical. Narrative coherence: Another area where Fable 5 stands out in narrative coherence. Long stories, role-playing sessions, and extended creative projects may feel more consistent and natural. Benchmark scores. Now let's look at the benchmark scores. These numbers makes the positioning of both models much clearer. Reasoning. In reasoning task, Claude Opus 4.8 scores 94% compared to 78% of for Fable 5. That's a significant gap, and it suggests Opus is much stronger when solving complex problems, analyzing information, and working through multi-step logic. Code generation. The coding benchmark shows an even bigger difference: 91% versus 62%. If you are a developer, this is probably the most important metric on the chart. Opus appear heavily optimized for software engineering tasks. Creative writing. The picture changes when we move to creative writing. Fable 5 scores 93%, outperforming Opus at 79%. This indicates Fable 5 is designed to generate more engaging stories, richer characters, and more natural narrative flow. Multimodal. The multimodal category shows another major advantage for Fabel 5 90% compared to 68%. In other words, Fabel 5 seems much better at handling mixed media experiences involving text, images, and other content formats. Safety. Safety is where Opus dominates again. A score of 97% versus 74% suggests a stronger focus on reliability, alignment, and predictable behavior. Narrative. Finally, narrative coherence may be Fable's most impressive result. It scores 95% while Opus reaches 76% only. That means longer stories and conversations are likely to feel more consistent and immersive. Ideal use cases. Choose Claude Opus 4.8 for complex code review and generation, research synthesis and analysis, technical documentation, and multi-step reasoning tasks. Choose Fable 5 for brand storytelling and campaigns, interactive friction, and game in narratives, visual plus text content pipelines, expressive dialogue systems. The verdict. These models are not direct competitors. They occupy different positions in the AI capability landscape, each optimized for fundamentally different cognitive tasks. Claude Opus 4.8 is best when you need rigorous reasoning, safe deployments, and structured problem solving at scale. And Fable 5 best when you need creative generation, narrative depth, and emotionally resonant multimodal content. Key advantages. Reasoning tasks demand Claude Opus 4.8. It thinks before it speaks. Creative and narrative work is where Fable 5 defines a new standard. Safety alignment remains Anthropic's differentiator in enterprise context. The right model depends on the task, not on universal ranking.